Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're all doing great. We have a ton of news. We have a ton of news for you today. Players coming in, players leaving. I gotta say, I'm not too pleased about one of the players who's supposedly leaving. But we're going to be discussing all of that today. I got Boogeyman adjusting his camera. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Listen, people. One of the craziest January transfer windows I have ever seen. It is a madness what's going on. And by the way, no hat today. No hat today. I just had to
And
do it.
how did you manage? You have a lot of
Boogeyman,
hair.
there was a rumor going around that I was bald. I have a lot of hair. There was a rumor going around that I was bald, but I had to squash that rumor. I got hair. Hey, listen, Boogeyman, good to see you in the chat. Good to see you in the stream, man. How you been?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good.
We got a lot of
Let's
news to
see.
cover
We,
today, man.
we we are winning the Champions League of transfer, so I'm okay, man.
Hey, listen, you can't go on with that. You can't go on with that. I'm getting some comments about my trim. Listen, lads, let me, as always, we start by saying hello to the people in the chat, and then we start to talk about the madness that is this January transfer window. I got to start by saying big up to Zion, the Blue Clouds Media. Listen, I was on his channel earlier on today. We had a nice little discussion. Blue Clouds Media, guys, you gotta be checking that channel out. You gotta be checking it out. My man Zion is doing streams every single day, content every single day, great debates, great conversations. You need to be checking out Zion in Blue Clouds Media. So big up to Nee. Jeff, bro, it's all coming fast. It is coming fast, Jeff. It is coming fast. And I hope Ziyech will get appreciated, boy. Yeah, listen, we're going to talk about Ziyech. You know I'm going to be talking about Hakim Ziyech. It's a madness, but there's a lot to discuss. And Fabrizio Romano has given us some insight to the Hakim Ziyech situation. I will be discussing that very, very shortly. NCT 2 games. Ziyech and Jorginho out of the door. Enzo and Casido in. Yeah, you know what? That might be the case. That might be the case. We got just over 24 hours. We got 26 hours to see what happens. Hello, big up to you, my man. Who else is in here? Blue Clouds, Jeff. Listen, big up to everyone in the chat. I'm seeing a new name here. Ziyech deserves better. Chelsea didn't treat him well. I hope PSG will get this job done. Big up to you. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for joining the channel. We're going to discuss Hakim Ziyech. We're going to discuss the treatment of Hakim Ziyech. You guys know I'm all about Ziyech in this channel. But yeah, we're going to be getting into that. Muhammad, what's Muhammad saying? It will be a mistake to sell Ziyech. What a class playmaker. You know what? I'm going to discuss that. Because it might be a mistake and it might not be. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Boogeyman, how are you, brother? How you been?
Yeah, I've been always good, man. Just enjoy the life of being a father, and because Chelsea cannot even give me any happiness lately, so man, I'm trying to disconnect myself from the emotions connection that I have with Chelsea, but it's just not working at this time. But hopefully, we just win. I think we're winning. We're cooking this transfer windows by signing a whole bunch of players. I like their spending, but I have a lot of doubt when it comes to how or who we're buying. So I have a lot of doubt, a lot of problem with the whole youngster politics that we are investing now. But other than that, listen, it's not my money. They can spend it, so I don't mind it, man.
Elijah's coming out with Todd is spending Elon Musk funds. Listen, it's looking like that. It is looking like that. Look, guys, I'm gonna actually put the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to jump in, you're welcome to do so. All you gotta do is when you come on, switch on your camera for a little bit so I know who is coming on, and then we'll take it from there. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and then we're gonna have a look at Fabrizio Romano's latest update. Let me just stick this link in the chat. Give me 2 seconds. Copy and stick it here. Let's paste that and let's pin it. Everyone is welcome to jump on the Blue Lounge today. It's going to be an open debate. But before we do anything, I want to ask you guys to do me that favor of hitting the like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the Blue Lounge. I want to watch this video by Fabrizio Romano. It was literally released 20 minutes ago. So this is the latest that Fabrizio Romano has to share with us. Let me just share that. Nee Zion's in the house. Big up, Nee. How are ya? Welcome. Welcome. Hey, listen, Nee Zion, you've just had a marathon stream, so I'm so happy that you found the energy to come on, jump on here, man. Big up to you. How you doing, brother? How you doing, Nee?
You know, I'm very happy. I'm grateful to be here again. Mo, I'm very grateful to see my brother, Boogeyman.
Yeah, I'm there.
Let's
man.
get it going.
Listen, I'm checking your background. You haven't won any other cup. You only have 1 or 2 or 3 cups there, right? What's going on?
That one there.
Oh, okay, that's 3 then. Okay, that's okay. Good. So your team is still performing. That's good.
Boogeyman.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. I hope you're doing well, Boogeyman. You doing well?
Oh, I'm good. Yo, how's the family?
It's always nice to see you.
Oh, thanks, man. It's always nice to hear from you, man. And how's your health?
I wouldn't complain. It's still a little. I've been sitting for way too long, and it's not healthy. It's not good for me. But I can't complain.
Beautiful.
Jumping on to. I'll be laying down by now. But then we have to help each other. We have to help each other.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Fabrizio, let's go.
I love this conversation, but we've got to listen to the big man himself, Fabrizio Romano, and his latest update. In this video, I've seen it already. He gives us an update in regards to Enzo Fernandez, Jorginho, and Hakim Ziyech. So let's watch it, 3 minutes, and then we'll discuss after it's all done. Let's go.
Jorginho, important news. Arsenal are interested in Jorginho as one of the options in case Moises Caicedo deal will collapse. Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. Fabrizio Romano here to keep you posted on the transfer market. We are entering in the final hours of the market, and so guys, let's jump into it together. And so guys, let me start saying that while I'm recording this video, Chelsea are still working to get the Enzo Fernandez deal done. There are still meetings, still contacts. Everything is around Manuel Rui Costa, former midfielder, president of Benfica. He has to approve the deal. Chelsea did their best. Chelsea offered 120 million euros with different kind of payment terms. This is why they're not triggering the clause. But now it's on Manuel Rui Costa. The player wants the move, so now the president of Benfica has to decide what he wants to do. So follow all the updates in the next hours. But guys, it's important to say about Chelsea, there are 2 updates for players who can become outgoings on the deadline day. Jorginho.
All right, before we go into Jorginho, the reason why there is a problem, I call it a problem, the reason why there is an issue in regards to the transfer fee for Enzo Fernandez is not the fact that Chelsea are not paying the money, it's the fact that Chelsea are paying the money in installments. So the release clause is £105 million, which is 120 million euros. Chelsea are prepared to pay that money. However, they don't want to pay it all in one go. They want to spread the payments so that they don't actually have to pay the 40 million euros in tax. And that is where the issue is. Now, in regards to Benfica's situation, Benfica have to pay, I think, a 20% transfer or a resale transfer to River Plate because When they bought him, there was a resale clause in his contract. So when Benfica do sell him, they are going to have to pay money to River Plate. So they need to maximize the amount of money that they're going to get in from Chelsea in order for them to have it financially sound for them. So Chelsea have the tax man on one side, Benfica have River Plate on the other side. And that is why the payment structure of this deal is so crucial. Let's continue to hear what he has to say about Jorginho.
Important news, Arsenal are interested in Jorginho as one of the options in case Moises Caicedo deal will collapse. We know that Brighton don't want to sell Caicedo, so let's see how the negotiation between Arsenal and Brighton will go on the deadline day, but looks really complicated because after £70 million bid turned down, it looks really difficult to convince Brighton, and this is why Arsenal are looking for options, and Jorginho is one of them. So keep an eye on Jorginho for Arsenal, not the only one, but one of the players they are considering for the midfield. Chelsea would be open to let him go, but it has to be for an important fee. From what I understand, around 15-20 million pounds. This is what Chelsea want for Jorginho. Let's see what Arsenal will decide to offer if they will go for Jorginho. But they had...
All right, I'm just going to pause it for a second. 15-20 million pounds for Jorginho. That's a,
I think 2 years ago he was one of the top midfielder, or a year and a half
right?
ago he was.
He was in for the Ballon d'Or, right?
He was good,
15,
Ballon
20
d'Or
million
list or
pounds.
something, yeah.
Go on, Nick. You want to say something?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying that probably the way we use Jorginho, we don't use him as well as, if you remember, Pep Guardiola was really interested in Jorginho, and that's the reason why. Arteta was working underneath Pep Guardiola, and those two guys were working together. And they saw the reason why they wanted to bring Jorginho to Etihad and the kind of work they want him to do. Right now, it looks like they don't have the right person. At that time, they need someone who can control the ball from behind. And Arteta is looking like he doesn't have the same kind of person that can distribute the ball very, very well, break the game down and start it fresh and slow the game down when they need to in the Arsenal team. So I think Jorginho inclusion in their team will be good for Chelsea because we know how to exploit, how to find the weakness of Jorginho. But it can help Arsenal because Arsenal have a young, very, very young team. They have a lot of legs to help Jorginho if he make mistakes. Just like we all know that Kovacic and Kante have been doing for Jorginho. That is why they're always injured. Jorginho never go down as an injured person. We all know that. So Jorginho will be a very good player for Arsenal, in my opinion.
Amen.
Good comment here from Mohammed. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Boogeyman, 1 second. This is a very good comment. If he was an English player, his price would be twice as much as that. Definitely. Go on, Boogeyman. Go on.
Listen, Nee just said exactly what the situation is. It's not about Jorginho being English player or not. It's just the fact that Chelsea always do business on the panic situation. Okay, Jorginho is there. We're trying to bring player in. People slander Jorginho. He is too slow. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He is a that. No, Jorginho, we know who Jorginho was, who Jorginho is, and what he can actually give to this team.
I just want to say, Boogie, keep in mind his contract, though. His contract's expiring, I think, in 6 months. And that plays a big part in his price tag.
Yeah, I understand that. But the fact is this. This is just, I'm not, because I'm pretty sure we'll talk about those later on. The biggest issue that people are not understanding is when you try to build a team, you have to have something that is working. You cannot just spend money bringing people in, spending money bringing prospect in, and thinking that they're going to gel and next season we're going to have any result. It's just not going to work.
Right.
So my point is this. Jorginho has best performed when he have a little bit of muscle around him, N'Golo Kante around him, protecting him, doing the dirty work. Normally, if I was our recruiter or Todd Bowley, and because I'm trying not to repeat what Nizan said, what exactly is the job of Jorginho? People say, oh, Jorginho is not physical. Jorginho does not have to be physical. We are a top 4 team. Look at all the team in EPL that have physical midfielder. the position they have is from 6 all the way to 14. Because if your game, sorry for the note, if your game is about being physical, yeah, everybody can be physical. Everybody in the EPL can be physical. EPL defenders, EPL midfielders don't shy away from the physicality of the game. They don't shy away from. That's one thing they're all known for. The only thing they're scared of is someone has a mind, thinking, fast thinker. That's the thing that makes the difference between top 4 and the others. So, Jorginho performances. So when you put Jorginho in a weak side, he's not going to do much. We know that. But if you want someone that can, one, decided where the ball has to be speed up, what part of this field we need to play the ball, where the ball has to be slowed down. When we try to run our opponent, we're trying to destroy their lungs. We're trying to make them run. That's Jorginho. If the thinking part, the brain of the game has to be Jorginho, but we know in which condition we have to put Jorginho in it. If you transfer Jorginho to Arsenal, listen, I'm not going to say much. We'll see what's going to happen. Arsenal will just be that team that will never, and they need to say, look at our midfield. Who'd never get injured is Jorginho. How can you be playing that much of the game and not be injured? People are like, oh, he shy away from contact. And of course, he's a
Boogie.
He's not idiot.
Look at Fabrizio Romano's face. That's what he's thinking about what you just said. This is his reaction to what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand.
We'll get back. We'll get back to Jorginho in just a second. Let's finish the video and we'll come back to Jorginho, Ziyech, and Enzo Fernandez. And big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you all for your comments. Keep them coming in. Make sure you're subscribing and make sure you're turning that bell notification button on when you do subscribe. And why not give the video a like? Really appreciate that. Let's hear what Fabrizio Romano has to say.
For Jorginho, but they had conversations. Hakim Ziyech, Paris Saint-Germain want him on loan with no buy option clause, so straight loan until the end of the season.
That's a problem. So firstly, they want him on a loan without a buy option. Okay, for the next portion of the season. I'm not happy about that happening in this way. Let's continue and hear what's going to transpire.
Let's see what Chelsea will decide also in this case, because Chelsea insisted for the whole window. They wanted a permanent transfer for Ziyech and not a loan. They turned down many loan approaches for the Moroccan star. But in this case, Ziyech wants the move. He wants to go to PSG. So let's see how the conversation...
Okay, so Ziyech wants to move. Ziyech wants to go to PSG. It makes sense. Achraf Hakimi... on the right there with him, good chemistry, good partnership between him and Achraf Hakimi. And the way he's been treated in Chelsea, and I'm going to get back to that, you can see why he'd probably be preferring a move to PSG. Let's continue.
Will continue, but PSG are really pushing for Hakim Ziyech as they're looking for a replacement for Pablo Sarabia, who joined Wolves earlier in the January transfer window. Pedro Porro to Tottenham. Here we go, confirmed, guys, and I'm really proud because today morning we had many rumors of a deal collapsing, but was not collapsing. They had problems over the night, Sporting and Tottenham, but everything was under control on Tottenham's side. They were keeping contacts with Sporting, with agents, with the player. Pedro Porro didn't train during the afternoon to force the move. He only wanted Tottenham. Pedro Porro was crucial to get this deal done, and Tottenham during the whole morning and the whole afternoon, they were negotiating with Sporting, with the agents involved, and the deal is done. So agreement, Tottenham Sporting confirmed also the payment terms. We can confirm what we say, there we go. So 45 million euros with the payment terms agreed this time, and so Porro will undergo medical tests on deadline day with Tottenham and will be announced as the new right winger for Antonio Conte. So done deal, Pedro Porro to Tottenham. And guys, many other things to follow, because we know it's a crazy deadline day coming, so keep an eye on Enzo, keep an eye on all the latest, of course, also on the other clubs around Europe, because PSG also want Milan Skriniar, because we have to see what happens with Barcelona. Barca are selling Hector Bellerin to Sporting. They will replace Pedro Porro with Bellerin. Permanent transfer with a percentage on the future sale, a sell-on clause. So the domino is starting. Follow everything in the next hours here on the channel. And so guys, remember to subscribe to the channel, like,
subscribe to Fabrizio Romano, like his video, and tell him the Blue Lounge says hello. All right, guys, look, I want you to tag me in any tweets that you see that relate to transfer news. We're going to be checking Twitter. We're going to be checking the latest news. We'll be streaming for about an hour and a half. Let's see how it goes. But I'm going to keep an eye on Twitter. So any new updates, any breaking news, tag me, tell me in the chat. We'll go check it out. We'll have a read and we'll investigate. I want to talk about Hakim Ziyech first, and then we'll talk about the other stories. Now, you guys know my opinion on Hakim Ziyech. Okay? Hakim Ziyech is a very good player. Hakim Ziyech hasn't been a favorite when it came to Tuchel and Potter. Lampard did give him more game time. Tuchel only used him when he was playing 4 at the back. He used him as a wing back a couple of times when he was playing a hybrid, but Tuchel didn't think that Ziyech would be useful outside of the 4 at the back formation. Potter doesn't think Ziyech is useful unless there's no other options. When all the other players are injured, let's go to Ziyech. When other players are not injured, I'll bring Ziyech on for 10-15 minutes. So when Ziyech says he is, and again, this is what Fabrizio Romano has suggested, when Ziyech says he is happy to go to Paris Saint-Germain, it's understood. It's understandable. I want to know from Boogeyman and from Nizayan, and I'm going to go to Nizayan first, and I'll go to Boogeyman. I want to know: do you think that Hakim Ziyech going to Paris Saint-Germain on a loan is a good or bad idea for Chelsea Football Club? And do you think Hakim Ziyech being sold for a fee of around 30 to 40 million pounds is a better option? What do you think is the best option when it comes to Chelsea Football Club in regards to Hakim Ziyech? I'll hear from Nee, and then the same question I'll send to Boogeyman. Nee, take it away, brother.
Thank you very much for that wonderful question. It's not that easy to answer, but I'll try as much as I can to give you a very, very suitable answer. In my opinion, I think the best thing for Hakim Ziyech is for Chelsea to sell him. He's a very, very good player, but then if your coach doesn't see any good impact in you, unless the only time you see the best out of you is when his favorite players are injured, for you to come on and play, let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes here and there. To me, that should tell you the future of Hakim Ziyech is not at Chelsea Football Club. If it is at Chelsea, it is not at Chelsea for the current coach. Excuse me. And as to this moment, we have a coach that is being tagged as a project manager coach or project manager, which is going to be there for a long time. So in that matter, why don't you let Hakim Ziyech go? Because of his future and his career for himself. He has to get much game time. He's not that young. Hakim Ziyech, I think it's about 27 years, right?
28, I think he's now 28.
29.
Is it 29? Okay, 29. All right.
Oh, Ruben is 27. I got confused over there. Ruben is 27. So, in my opinion, Hakim Ziyech even going alone is not good for me. I think he should sell him. Just need to wash your hands off Hakim Ziyech. Let him continue with his career. Instead of taking him back and bringing him back in the summer, then they're going to try and see if he's going to work again, if it's going to work for the team. It's not going to work for the team because Potter doesn't favor Hakim Ziyech. So, in my opinion, sell him. Let him go.
All right, fair enough. Boogeyman, what do you think in regards to Hakim Ziyech?
Hakim Ziyech at this point does not fit where Chelsea is going with investing in youngsters. He's 29 years old, and I feel like no youngsters is going to be learning too much from him when he's not playing anyways, because as I always think is when you decided to buy that many youngsters, you need good experienced player on the field from who those youngsters can learn from. Hakim Ziyech actually has a good World Cup, yes, but at the end of the day, we can see exactly he's not been used by he's not been used by Potter. So I think a loan move to PSG is good for Hakim, but it's not good for Chelsea because even for Hakim, as he has a good World Cup, but we're still not using him properly. Hakim Ziyech can have a good second half of the season with PSG, with Neymar, Mbappe crossing the ball to them and have enjoyed himself in PSG. But he's just never going to be that leaders or that player that our youngsters, our wingers, or even our midfielder will learn from. So I think if Chelsea can, let them go. But if we cannot just get rid of them, get rid of them, then I think a loan move is good for Hakim Ziyech, where he can enjoy himself and give another chance to his football career for me.
I get that. I see that. I think there's two sides to this. There's the future of the player, his career, and then there's the benefits to the club. Um, for the player, like Hakim Ziyech, who isn't being utilized by Graham Potter or by the previous manager, and potentially he doesn't suit the style that Chelsea are playing. For him to go elsewhere and for him to take the opportunity is good for him, and at the same time, it's good for Chelsea Football Club. I do believe that Hakim Ziyech does have attributes that Chelsea could benefit from, will benefit from, but he is a kind of player that you need to put faith in. You need to motivate in a very unique way, a special way. Hakim Ziyech has a personality that is. I'm not going to say selfish or he has a big ego, but Hakim Ziyech does want to have that love and that attention. And if he doesn't feel that he's got that from the fan base or from the manager, it tends to affect his performances. And I think Hakim Ziyech will definitely benefit from going to Paris Saint-Germain. However, I don't want to see that deal happening on a loan basis. I think for both Ziyech and Chelsea, if that deal does go through, then Hakim Ziyech should be sold, because then it would help us financially, and at the same time, it would close that chapter, let him go, let him pursue his career elsewhere. Guys, in the chat, let me know what you think. And also, there is a link pinned to the chat. You can click on that link and jump on and give me your thoughts and opinions on Hakim Ziyech. I just want to check one quick thing. Boogeyman, have you seen something on Rice? Is there something being mentioned, or is?
No, I think Ben Jacob saying Chelsea is looking at Declan Rice, so I wouldn't mind if we can get Rice because of his experience. Actually, like I said before, investing in a young player that has not proven in any team in EPL that they know what EPL is about. For me, it's just going to be, we're going to wait next year also for them to have some experience with EPL. So result will always put on the background. Like it's just like, okay, it's not about result, it's about playing, getting experience. So me, I'm tired. I'm not Chelsea fan to wait or to be, or how do you relax about player doing their thing on the field. No, the result. And I want Chelsea next season to be in that top four position, challenging. I don't, whatever they have to cook this season, Chelsea has to go back to top four. That's what Chelsea is about. Whoever is the owner, whoever is leading our project, I don't even care. Top four. If it doesn't get to
Okay.
that, someone needs to be
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a second in regards to Potter and Chelsea moving forward. This is
There's going to be a lot of pressure on him in a way.
There
Sorry.
is
Go ahead.
knee. There is knee. This is what Fabrizio Romano posted about 2 hours ago. It says Paris Saint-Germain are in advanced negotiations to sign Hakim Ziyech from Chelsea. Player has already accepted. So that's what he said on his video. Hakim Ziyech has accepted the idea to go to Paris Saint-Germain. It says as the two clubs are now discussing final formula of the deal. So, like we said, possibly transfer, possibly a loan deal, but they are in their final stages. It does look like Hakim Ziyech is on his way out. Negotiations will continue to get done tonight. First call on Ziyech. I think Hakim Ziyech, his time at Chelsea is coming to an end.
And then
Yeah, it looks like it's coming to an end. Guys in the chat, what do you think? what do you think in regards to Hakim Ziyech? Is selling him a good move? Is loaning him a better move? Keeping him? What do you guys think in the chat? I want to hear it. I got a comment here. Actually, Potter has talked up Ziyech. We are putting him in the shop window. We have to move him to up. He has, look, you can't down talk Ziyech. You can't underestimate Ziyech. Any manager who says Ziyech is a bad player is not being fair to the man or to the squad or to the team or even to the Moroccan national team. The man pushed them to 4th place in the World Cup. Hakim Ziyech is a fantastic, fantastic player. However, does he suit Graham Potter's system? Does he suit Graham Potter's style of play? Okay, I believe Hakim Ziyech can be utilised. I believe Hakim Ziyech can add a lot to the team. However, if Graham Potter, the manager, is reluctant to use him, then keeping him at the club isn't going to be beneficial to him or to the club. Thank you for your comment. Much appreciated. I'm going to go and have a look at a few more comments. Guys, let me know your thoughts on Hakim Ziyech. I'm going to read your comments out. I think people need to have some faith in our scouting team. Previously, they've shown that they're useless. So, we'll give him a chance now. I mean, at the moment, we're seeing that they're scouting Arsenal targets. They're scouting Tottenham targets. They're scouting, targets of other clubs. And, we have the money and we're taking them. Mudryk is a good example of that. But, yeah, let's see. Let's give these guys a chance. Took Arsenal 4 years to rebuild, and it took us 6 months. Arsenal in the mud, Arsenal in the mud. Thank you for the comment.
It's all about money. Saying? It's all about money, man. It's all about money. When you got the money, you got everything.
Maybe nobody has offered cash for Ziyech. It's going to be clear tomorrow. I believe the Ziyech saga will be clear tomorrow. Bobby Fairview, this is the first time I am hearing Boogeyman on the new ownership. I knew I could count on him to book popular opinion. Yeah, listen, Boogeyman is the man. Popular opinions down the drain. When Boogeyman's around, it's all about the unpopular opinions. Am I right? Boogie?
Yeah, I always make sure people understand my opinion, man. It's just, for me, that's what it is.
For real. Courtney, my man, for his career, I think he should leave permanently. Courtney, I agree. I don't like to hear this. I like him in the team, but for his career, yeah, I agree. Ziyech has had his chance. Best for everyone. For him, yep, I agree. What's Jeff saying? Best for all parties. Yep. All right. All right, this is Mohamed. Mohamed is a Moroccan, so let's get a Moroccan perspective on this. He can play 10. He can play as a 10, as a right wide playmaker at Chelsea, but Potter doesn't rate him. If he goes better for him, he will get rid of Chelsea fans slandering him week in, week out. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Mohamed, it's unfair, it's biased, but every player is getting it. Mason Mount is getting it. Kai Havertz is getting it. Hakim Ziyech has been getting it from day one, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, I'm gonna jump into the Jorginho story, guys. This is the format we're gonna do it. We're gonna do Jorginho, and after Jorginho, we're gonna go to Enzo Fernandez, and then we're gonna open the discussion on Chelsea transfer window as a whole, and also the future of Chelsea Football Club under Todd Boehly and Graham Potter. And I have to say, my opinion on Todd Boehly is changing. It's changing. And I'll tell you more very, very soon. Make sure you stick around. And if you are sticking around, hit that like button while you're watching the stream. We've only got 35 likes. Come on, lads. Grab yourself a coffee, grab yourself a drink, a snack, a packet of crisps, some biscuits, some peanuts, nachos with salsa, just relax, chill, and we're going to enjoy the stream together. All right, now, Jorginho. Let's look at some of the tweets in regards to Jorginho. Actually, do you know? Do you know what? I'm just gonna go quickly to. Let's have a look. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? To Fabrizio Romano, he posted this 1 hour ago, and I'm using Fabrizio Romano as my go-to guy for the news. I know there's Arkansella, there's Matt
Ben
Law,
Jacobs.
there's Ben Jacobs. There's a few, but we'll just stick with Fabrizio Romano for the time being. So Fabrizio Romano said this in regards to Jorginho. Um, this was posted 2 hours ago, and he retweeted a tweet that was posted by him 4 hours previously. Mikel Arteta understood to be fan of Jorginho and appreciating his skills. This is why is a concrete name for the final hours for Arsenal. Either I'm not reading it right, or Fabrizio Romano's English is not that great. But wasn't Chelsea wasn't Chelsea. Oh, once my eyes. Chelsea wants significant fee to let him leave now. Previously, he tweeted Arsenal. Let's have a look. Arsenal approached Chelsea for Jorginho. It's now an option in case Caicedo deal won't go through, with Brighton still reluctant to sell. Chelsea open to sell Jorginho, but will ask for important fee to let him leave 6 months before end of contract. So Jorginho has 6 months left on his contract. Now, the fee that has been mentioned is between 15 to 20 million pounds. All right, this time we're going to go to Boogeyman and then Nizayon. Boogeyman, Jorginho to be sold for 15 million pounds. One of the biggest names in midfield for Chelsea team right now. As it is Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic. They are the three big names in our midfield. We're gonna sell one of them for 15 to 20 million pounds to a rival. Considering he only has 6 months left on his contract, it makes sense. But 10 to 15 million to Arsenal, how do you see it?
Listen, good business for Arsenal for sure. I'm not Arsenal fan, but I guarantee you, Jorginho is the least injured players in a top around team like Chelsea. And if you sell him, whoever is going to bring there, Enzo, okay, let's see. He has no experience in EPL. If for any reason Enzo get injured, then you have what, Kovacic, Lewis Hall, and Kante that will get injured, Zakaria that will get injured. Then tell me, what are you going to do when those players get injured? Or who are you going to play? So listen, he has 6 months. Yeah, business side of the game. We need to convince Jorginho. If you ask me, we need to convince Jorginho to stay 1 or 2 years. Same thing we give to Aspilicueta just because he's a leader,
Give him a
and
big contract,
allow.
Boogie. Big
What's that?
contract. Give him a big contract. Pay him a large wage.
For me,
Is that yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, Jorginho has, yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind. Give him a big contract, and if it is because he's 31 years old, and that's the time where they become more wise with their game also. And
They they
Jorginho
they
has
peak they peak at 31. Just look
normally
at Thiago
midfielders peak
Silva.
at that age. They peak at that age. So my issue is he may have some weakness. Yeah, when it comes to when the game becomes way too physical, he get exposed. If he's not properly protected, then we have a lot of problem. But a lot of game like the game we play against Liverpool team the last game we played, Jorginho is by far the best Chelsea player on that field that day. If you go back, watch it again, you will notice he's the one dispatching the game, moving that ball around, allow our player actually to play and take the game to Liverpool. We should have won that game. So listen, it's all about Chelsea fan not being happy with Jorginho being slow or whatever that thing is. They slander everybody just because they need a scapegoat and all those things. But good, I mean, if he goes to Arsenal, we will all regret it. Because then what? We are we going to just bring physical? Mount is tired. Harvard's been running for how many years? 3 years now. Mount has been running for 3 years now. Zakaria get injured. We make that mistake to sack all our medical staff. So we don't. The no medical staff doesn't even know our players, and then you're going to sell the player that is never injured in our midfield. Yeah, good luck with that, man. So for me, it's simple. Jorginho, just for the fact that he does not get injured, he's always available. Man has to stay. If Jorginho say, "Listen, I only have 6 more months. Give me more money," I'll say, "Yeah, okay. You're 31 years old, man. We'll give you 2 years with whatever 300 per month or 300 a week. You got it." Because Jorginho for me is just one of those top players. He has to stay. Unlike Hakim Ziyech, I mean, he cannot stay because I just don't think in that position he's giving us enough. And for the sake of Hakim, Paris Saint Germain, he will just restart a new. He will just reboost his career. So I think Hakim has to go, but Jorginho has to stay for me.
Okay, before I jump to Nia Zion and get his opinion on this, I want to just say this. Claudio Makelele joined Chelsea at the age of 30. And we all know the impact he had when he joined Chelsea Football Club. 31 is not old for a midfielder. So I concur. 31 is not old for a midfielder, especially a holding midfielder. Maybe Jorginho's attributes, his thinking, his vision, his passing, it's not something that is gonna deteriorate with age. He was never quick. He was never really physically strong. So for him, age isn't really gonna hinder his ability. That being said, the fact that he only has 6 months left on his contract, the fact that to keep him, we're gonna have to offer him a big chunk of money, and the fact that Chelsea are looking at alternatives like Enzo Fernandez and Casado and others, we're hearing Declan Rice, Bellingham maybe in the summer. Jorginho might not be a player that we can depend on or rely on. That being said, I think if we are only gonna get Enzo Fernandez coming in this window, if we do get Enzo and Caicedo, then yeah, let's get rid to Arsenal, get the 15, 20 million, whatever. But if we don't, I'd rather see him play through this half of the season, and then we'll let him walk away on a free, rather than selling him to Arsenal for 15, 20 million pounds, and potentially helping them win the title with Jorginho. I mean, that's what Jorginho wants now, isn't it? The Premier League title. But let's move to Nia Zion. Nia Zion, your opinions on Jorginho and his potential sale to Arsenal. Let me hear it.
I kind of stand the same point where Boogeyman stand. I agree with everything he just said. There's something that Jorginho have that if you're not a technical person, you wouldn't see what he does on the football pitch. But I see a lot. Jorginho can maneuver. Jorginho can give those 5-yard passes that people cannot do. We see lots of defenders have that issue, giving those 3-yard passes, 5-yard passes that Jorginho can do in a crowded area. When there's so much pressure on you, Jorginho can bail you out from doing those things. He can move away. He moves around a lot. But then, if you know how to use a specific player, just like me, I've got to understand that Kovacic is not a goal scorer. But then the ability of Kovacic to drive the ball and then connect with the attacking players is what Jorginho can. Is what Kova can give you. It's the same thing with Jorginho. He doesn't have that leg, but then if you're looking for a man that can start the game from behind very, very well, just like Couch also said, those back in the days, the league is different from what it is now at this moment. Not all players are blessed with physique, but it's about how you use them on the pitch if you understand the way they move around. And I bet you, Jorginho going to Arsenal is a blessing because they have players like Odegaard who have legs and strong. They have players like Thomas Partey who are strong and have the legs. Jorginho being there, it gives them that balance in the team that Arteta is looking for. The reason why I'm saying that is why did what's his name Pep Guardiola wanted Jorginho so badly back in those days? Why? It's because they know what Jorginho can do in this game until Chelsea had him. But we did not get the best of Jorginho, how to use Jorginho very well. That is why we didn't get the best out of him. To me, selling him to us now, I don't want it. If Jorginho have to be sold, it has to go outside the Premier League because Jorginho is still a very, very good player. Look at his records in terms of penalties. He scored. Let's say if don't you get panic when you put the ball down and say, "Hey, miss him out. Go kick that penalty." Or you have a dying minutes, your 19 minutes, you get a penalty. Now you put Jorginho and Mason Mount there. You have to be beaten. You want to see Jorginho taking that penalty. Now you're taking Jorginho away that can give you 7 penalty a season. You're sending him to Arsenal. So if Chelsea sell Jorginho to Arsenal, the title is over.
Like, no doubt, Jorginho is underappreciated. No doubt. I think Jorginho has got a lot about his game that people don't seem to understand and see. He's not the most attractive player. And when I say player, I don't mean the way he looks. I mean the way he plays. So he does some of the ugly stuff really good. Okay, he does. I mean, people talk about him passing the ball back. He wants to keep possession. Jorginho is all about keeping possession, controlling the pace of the game, dominating the midfield. That's what Jorginho is all about. Jorginho needs someone beside him who's more creative. That's why Jorginho and Kovacic playing together was such a good partnership. You got Kovacic who's good moving forward, and you got Jorginho who's excellent at keeping possession. You got Kovacic who can break down play and start an attack, and you got Jorginho who can control the possession. Controlling the possession is not an easy attribute. Okay, just look at how many times some of our big names, generational talents, lose the ball. Okay, Jorginho would rather do a back pass, a sideways pass, than to give the ball away. That is an attribute that a lot of people seem to take for granted.
Mo, let me ask you one question, Mo. Let me ask you, if we can remember, there was one time we put N'Golo Kante, who people see him to have the strength, to have all that legs. We put him behind when everybody set for it to go and head the ball. And then I think the ball was being kicked lob on the counter. It was left with N'Golo Kante. He fell and couldn't even track the ball. Jorginho have never had that.
It was against Arsenal.
Yes.
What is his name? The Brazilian, young Arsenal Brazilian. Martinelli. Oh, fuck.
Jorginho would never go through that. Jorginho would never go through. First touch is very, very important for Jorginho. People don't see that the first touch in football, as we always point fingers at Lukaku and we point fingers at Darwin Nunez and all that. It's not easy. First touch on the ball. Look about Jorginho, the way he does it in a crowded defensive area. The way he takes it so easy. He's an expert in those attributes. If you understand, I really appreciate Jorginho very well. He does things that a lot of players cannot do in a crowded area in the 18-yard box. So that's what I was saying.
There's oh shit. There's a live stream right now with Fabrizio Romano, and he's talking about Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo. Okay, so just having a quick look.
Just put it on, man.
I can't stream a live stream, can I?
That's fine.
I mean, I don't know if I can, but I think if I can, he'll probably.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you that more because most of Fabrizio's his streams, he upload them on YouTube.
This one is.
So gotta be careful there.
This one is not on YouTube. Okay. So it's on a different platform. The thing is, if you share his video, it's okay as long as you give him credit. Okay. But if you share a live stream, because I'm live and they're live, doing it that way, I'm taking views away from their channel, and I don't want to do that. Okay. So if it's a video and you're sharing it with a couple of hundred people, with him getting a couple of million views on his video, isn't really going to make that much of an impact. But I don't want to share a live stream on a live stream. That I don't want to do. Gav Holds, big up to you and welcome back. Guys, smash that like button. What are you waiting for? We haven't even hit 100 likes yet. We're on 62. Smash that like button. We've got 192 of you watching the stream right now. Let's get 100 likes on the stream. If every one of you hits that like button right now,
Yeah.
we'll get 192 likes. So smash that like button. And if you are not following Nee Zion, what are you doing? Blue Clouds Media. You need to be checking out that channel. You need to be following Nee Zion on Blue Clouds
Yeah.
Media.
Come subscribe to Boogie TV too. Yeah, Boogie TV.
Boogie doesn't have a TV yet. Doesn't have a TV. All right, Nee Zion, drop your link in the chat, man. Drop your link in the chat. Let's get people to check out your channel as well. All right. And I can't forget my man, the Couch Critic. The Couch Critic. Guys, you got to be subscribing and watching and sharing and commenting and doing all the madness on the Couch Critics YouTube channel. Dennis P, my man. Great content. Great perspective. Rational perspective. Sometimes too rational, too logical, but it is what it is. Couch Critic, big up to you, my man. And if you've got time, Couch, click on that link and jump on. All right, now, Enzo Fernandez. We're going to address all the other stories that, Gallagher and the others. And we're going to go back to Ziyech and Jorginho in a bit. But I want to give every single story a little bit of our time before we open the discussion. Enzo Fernandez. And I'm going to start with Nee Zion this time.
Okay.
Enzo Fernandez is a World Cup winning midfielder. People are saying Enzo Fernandez is not proven. He hasn't done it. He's a youngster. And the guy to my... Where is it? This guy here?
Yeah.
He's a Boogeyman. He's a culprit. He's a culprit. This guy here, Boogeyman, he's a culprit. He said this. And I'm kind of baiting him out, but this was in a conversation. He said, we are signing youngsters. We don't have enough experience. We don't have enough leaders in the team. Enzo Fernandez, fantastic player, but is he good enough for the Premier League? I say this. Enzo Fernandez is a World Cup winner. Enzo Fernandez, when he is being held onto by Rui Costa, when Chelsea are going to smash the Premier League transfer record to bring him in at such a young age, and Rui Costa is holding back. And I don't think Rui Costa is just being greedy. I think Rui Costa knows this lad is going to take Benfica to places. This lad is going to, elevate this team. And he doesn't want to lose a player of that quality, of that talent. And he feels like he's been pressured into it. And maybe that's why he's holding back. And that's why he's trying to get the best deal, the best pound for pound, if you want to use that phrase, for this player. Is he worth that money? Nee Zion, is he worth that money? And do you think Chelsea are going to get him? Are Chelsea going to smash the Premier League record? Are Chelsea going to spend £105 million? And it might even be more because I've heard reports just before coming onto the stream that Chelsea may even pay a bigger fee than the release clause. The release clause is at 120 million euros. Chelsea may go to 130, 135, maybe even 140 million euros to sign him. I know what you're thinking. Why would Chelsea pay more than the release clause? And I'll tell you why. Because Chelsea want to pay installments. Chelsea are trying to avoid paying the tax for triggering the release clause. Therefore, if they pay 80, 90 million euros now and split the next 50, next 40 in installments, they can avoid paying the tax that they would have to pay on the buyout clause, which is being reported at 40 million euros. Okay, so this is a massive, massive deal, and this is why it's taken such a long time. Nee Zion, your thoughts on my man Enzo Fernandez? Let me hear it.
This is where I stand. It's a very difficult question since, like my brother said, he hasn't played the Premier League before. Chelsea have brought in loads of players from outside the Premier League, and it hasn't lived up to expectation. One, Andriy Shevchenko, it was signing of a former legend of this football club, Roman Abramovich. It wasn't a real signing of the coach, but then he didn't live up to his expectation. Lots of players. The Premier League is not an easy place to bring in players, but then we've seen players that have also played in other tournaments, and then they've also lived up to expectation. We didn't knew that Oscar was going to be that good, but we brought Oscar from wherever we got him from, and then he played very well in the Premier League. Not all players can do it, but some can do it. You know, if I'm not a tactician, I'm not a scout, but then once you see scout, I'm sure Todd Bowley and his people have done their work very well. They've done the same, because I remember when we were watching the World Cup, Todd Bowley and his people went to Qatar to meet with lots of agents, and they have people that were scouting players. So I'm sure this team have sent people out there to look at Enzo Fernandez. They scout him many times. They know how he plays, and they've talked to Graham Potter. And Graham Potter, I've seen his attributes, and they believe that this guy can do this in our team. We can have this guy in our team. We have that guy. So, in my opinion, we haven't seen much of him. No one knew Enzo Fernandez until he had that breakthrough in the World Cup. But from what after that, being linked with Chelsea, just like Radio or the other guy from the Australian League, I'm very sure nobody also knew that much of him. But then after that, I've watched clips and I've watched one game of Benfica. I didn't watch the whole entire game. I watched 35 minutes of that game of Benfica. That guy was outstanding. And where is David Luiz coming from? David Luiz was coming from Benfica. He came to the Premier League. He played very, very well. So I'm sure if the scouts are still on him, and what I've seen, I think the guy will be a very, very good player in my opinion. I don't think he's going to flop. But just like Big Boogeyman said, we are signing young players. Why young? But he doesn't want to see Chelsea, that kind of patient. He wants to see Chelsea fighting for the top four, fighting for the trophies next season. I agree with him. But the model at which we're going now has changed. Todd Bowley wants to give that time for Potter to build a strong team that no one ever want to play with. That's what I was thinking. And then longevity is there compared to what Tuchel was trying to do. Tuchel brought in almost a retired player, Koulibaly, who's almost down to retire. That's what he brought in. He brought Aubameyang in, who was ready to retire. All these players, how long are we going to see them playing at the team? Because he was there, bringing players in that he's going to build his CV, but then he's not thinking ahead. After 3-4 years, if he wants to stay with the football club for that long, because he knew that he's not going to be at Chelsea for a long time. So let me bring in Koulibaly. Look how bad he is. Koulibaly is struggling. The guy that his tag has been 4-5 years the top defender in the Italian league can't even defend very well in the Premier League. So that should tell you what Thomas Tuchel was trying to do compared to what Todd Bowley is trying to do with Potter. So let's give Potter the time. Potter have brought in so many players like the Casidos, and then he's worked with them, and they are now world-class players. Now we can tag them as world-class players that are going for 70-80 million. So I'll say, Boogeyman, please, let's have patience for Potter. Let him get those young players in, because that is the model. Everyone is going for young players.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to go to Boogeyman, and then I'll go to Couch Critic, because I want Couch Critic to give me his thoughts on this story and also the other stories that we've addressed in the stream. So Couch Critic, sit tight. I'll come to you in just a second. Boogeyman, Zion makes a very good point. He says that experience is important, but sometimes even the experience that players have, the experienced players like Koulibaly, that experience might not translate well in the Premier League. The Premier League, different type of league. So it's, in my opinion, going from what Zion has said and what I've heard recently, I think we need to get a balance of experience and youth. Boogeyman, Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea for a world record transfer fee for a midfielder and a Premier League transfer record fee, full stop. Is he worth it? Should we be doing this? Is it going to happen?
I think it will happen. That's for sure. I think it's going to happen because of the money involved in this transfer, and because Chelsea seem not to be afraid for this the spending. And I'm happy that we have an owner that is spending money. My issue though is 6 months ago, nobody know who Enzo Fernandez was. He was okay. We see a few games against Manchester City, but he was not that top level player that you see once and you're like, who is this? Now he just on average, and he for some reason he didn't start the World Cup with Argentina, but as soon as the second game after the loss, he pick that position and make it his and play good with Messi in the team, with all the other midfield that he was joined with. One that is really rocky guy also. So he has a good World Cup. But from a good World Cup, for someone that has not done it in any other league in Europe, coming to Chelsea, a team with a high expectation playing in EPL, I'm happy to have him, but I just don't think he's going to be the one giving us or solving our midfield problems. And he has to learn from someone more experienced than Henzo. Henzo, what I saw, yeah, you can, when you watch his games, his compilation, you see a little bit of Xavi in him, you see a little bit of this in it, you see a little bit of this in him, you see a lot of Jorginho in it, or something like that. But seeing those things in a young team, a young players that is 178 tall, which is not good for the midfielder in the EPL, and he's 21 years old, which you just don't know what kind of condition he was put in the World Cup to perform at that level. Because for you to understand the parameters that kid needs to perform. Yeah.
Boogeyman, I'm going to cut you off before you go too further. Due to the height of this player that just left Man City, David Silva, do you know his height?
Who's that? Which one?
David Silva.
The one that is playing for Valence or something like that?
I think he's gone to the Spanish league. Do you know his height?
Listen.
Go ahead.
Do you know the height of this guy? I think you might have heard of him, called, what's his name? Lionel something. Lionel, I can't remember his surname. Lionel, that guy who plays for Argentina. You know, the one who
Lionel
won the
Messi?
World Cup. Lionel Messi, that guy. Yeah. And do you remember the other guy? What's his name? Diego something. Diego Maradona. Yeah. All right. These guys are strikers.
Boogie's playing basketball, man. Boogie's playing basketball. I'm telling you, he ain't playing no football, man.
You just don't get it, Ed. Those Enzo have not done it anywhere. He has not played in any other EPL team to know what EPL is about. And
put some respect on his name, man. The man won a World Cup, man. Put some respect on his name.
All right, he won a World Cup with Messi in it. Yeah, okay. So listen, I'm not here to say
the short guy, Messi, the short guy, yeah.
It's not the key. Like everybody keep talking about Messi.
Boogie. Yeah. I just want to say this because I just mentioned strikers. Let me just give you two more names: Kante, Makelele. Okay.
Someone even said Wayne Rooney.
No, he's a striker. I believe Michael. What's his name?
Essien was okay. Essien was not sure.
Listen, guys. Where did Kante come from?
He came from Africa.
French, Leicester City, Africa, to France.
No.
They came from Leicester City. Leicester City. Yeah.
Why did Kante did not make it in Premier in the League One? Because people say he's too small. But when he was given a chance in the EPL, everybody look at, he can do it in EPL. My point is this: Kante has a team in EPL where he proved what he is about. Michalesian has a team called Lyon, where he proved for 4 years consecutively that that's what he is about. Makelele, we don't talk about Makelele because Real Madrid, he has proven the record at Real Madrid that he is what he is. That's why those players when you brought, and even when you go back to Makelele, he was playing the team where everybody is
Boogie,
strong or
Boogie,
physically. Balak. Or
I,
even,
I, I, I agree.
But
You can't compare. You can't compare Enzo Fernandez to those players just yet. I
no,
agree with you.
no.
I agree.
My
I agree
point,
with you. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, height is not a deal breaker when it comes to midfielders.
no,
Boogeyman,
yeah, but
I want to
Boogeyman,
bring.
if you want to use the
Well,
height,
let,
it's
nee,
not.
nee,
It
nee,
doesn't
nee.
you're
come
not
in
even
with the
letting me
height.
finish.
Steph
Nee,
Curry.
Nobody let me
Look at
we'll
Steph
finish.
get
Curry's
we'll
height.
get
You,
we'll
you
get to
pick
this.
one
Curry.
parameter that I gave, and then
We'll
you
get to, we'll get to this. That the thing is, the reason why I actually focused on the height issue is because we had a discussion about this last night in our WhatsApp group.
oh yeah, oh
Me,
that's
Julius, and yeah. So Couch Critic kind of smashed it, but that's a debate for
he
another
didn't
day.
smash anything. What are you? What are you?
I'll
Are
let
you
him
done
jump
yet?
in.
Are you
I'll let
done?
him jump in. I'll let him
Thank
No,
jump
no,
you,
in.
no,
Anyway,
not
man.
yet.
I'm
Not
tired of
yet.
hearing
Not
this
yet.
rubbish, man.
Boogie. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna open this up. And
Okay, good. That's
guys,
good.
make sure you're liking the stream because the Blue Lions doesn't stream all that often. So when we do, make sure you give us your love and your support and hit that like button. And if you're new, you better be subscribing. All right, I'm gonna get to the couch critique now, and I'm gonna address this. Couch. We spoke about Enzo Fernandez. We spoke about Hakim Ziyech. We spoke about
There's only one
Jorginho.
person to
I
talk
want
about,
you to
man.
go in this order: Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Fernandez, Hakim Ziyech, and then Jorginho. All
Who?
right.
Hakim who?
I want to know this in regards. Come on, listen, Couch. I'm just gonna take you off the stream, man. Couch, I need to know. I need to know if you agree, disagree with what Boogeyman said, with what Nizayon said, what with in regards to the value of this player and his value adding to Chelsea Football Club. Is he going to be that midfielder that we're looking for, that we need? Is he gonna be the heart and soul of the team? Is he going to be part of that spine that we're all looking at and talking about? So give me your opinion on that, and then Ziyech leaving and Jorginho leaving to conclude. Go ahead, take it away. And welcome
Big
to the
up my
stream.
brothers, man. It's been a minute, man. It's about time, Zion, man. I've been wanting to get on your stream, man. You got to invite me back next time. Boogie, you know how we go already, man. We already have the chat groups and whatnot, but it's good to see your face. Mo, your hair is looking pimped out, bro. It's looking pimped, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking pimped, bro. But yo, honestly, not one person is going to revolutionize a midfield who's not named N'Golo Kante. Midfield is a partnership, right? A lot of the attributes that you have in Enzo Fernandez, you don't have anywhere else in the squad right now. You just don't. There's nobody in the team that can provide the ball delivery, the ball retention, the ability to like spot runners, all of this stuff. Nobody else in the squad can do that. So he's imperative to how we want to play, especially with the wingers that we just acquired, pacey wingers that like to run in behind. He's imperative. We don't have anyone that can do that, deliver the ball. And as far as the price goes, keep in mind, it's not just about meeting the valuation of the club. It's also because Chelsea aren't over the barrel right now. UEFA have changed the rules so that they close that little loophole. We probably would have left this to the summer if it wasn't for this loophole being changed. So we have to pay the overs now because we're not going to be able to negotiate the same sort of terms as we would like to have been able to do in the summer with this loophole changing. So for me, they have us by the short and curlies right now because they know that we won't be able to sign him in the summer. We won't be able to sign him in the summer and get it to fit under FFP if we do not do this move now. Simple and plain. So that evaluation, obviously, he's not a 120 million pound player, or 120 million euros. He's just not that. But his value to us as a player is immeasurable. You put him next to Kante in a midfield, the energy in the midfield, the ball delivery, the ball disruption, all of that stuff. Are you kidding me? That's one of the best duels in the game, without question. If we get Kante back to anywhere near some sort of like 2021 World Champions League form, we're dark horses for the Champions League this year, right now. Right now, if you bring Enzo into that midfield. There's no question about it for me. It goes beyond just what I saw with him in the World Cup. Like, look what he's doing for Benfica right now. Benfica's in the Champions League right now, and he's their best player. They're probably going to go through. They play what, Brugge next? If Enzo stays, there's a good chance they go through and get to the quarters and it will likely be all in the back of Enzo Fernandez. So this guy has pedigree. It's not just, he just hopped onto the scene for 6 months. This guy's won a World Cup. He was taking Benfica to the top of the Portugal and into the knockout stages of the Champions League. Like, he's played against big opponents. So yeah, like all that stuff, all that noise is not really that important to me. It's more about what is he going to offer Chelsea and whether or not this is going to keep us in line with FFP. And by all intents and purposes, it looks like that's what's going to happen. Chelsea are going to be able to bring this guy in now, sign him to a 15-year deal or whatever it is, and just get the deal lined up, and we'll be smooth sailing. Like, I'm excited. I think that this signifies the intent of the new ownership. It signifies the direction they want to go in, which means, yeah, obviously younger players, because when you're thinking about the cost it is to compete with the likes of a Man City right now, the cost to compete with the likes of Arsenal right now, we're so far behind. It would if we're gonna go for like informed players that are world beaters right now, how much money do you think you'd be sinking in order to like build a team around those types of players? We're talking about 150 million pound every player you buy. You know what I mean? Because we're so far behind the 8 ball. You can't get a midfielder right now that is in form, like, a great midfielder that'll cost you less than what we're paying for Enzo. That's for sure. You're not going to get De Bruyne for anything less than that. You're not going to get any of those really influential midfielders for less than that. And then when you think about the longevity, like, we're over this whole paying 100 million for a player and then only giving them a 5-year contract, and then at the end of their run, they get into their 30s and then they're dead wood to us. We are in the beginning of a new cycle. You have to get young players to come in and build a core. It's not about like trying to like put like a Band-Aid over a bullet wound anymore, like we've been doing under Roman and Marina for the longest time. This squad has been needing an overhaul for years, and we've missed and missed and missed in so many of these transfer windows. Missed.
Couch, couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Talk to me about the 3 names that have been mentioned today on the way out: Ziyech, Gallagher, and Jorginho. What's your thoughts on these?
I mean, of all of them, I think the one that is, I don't really like, just because of where I think he's going, is Jorginho. I don't think Jorginho to Arsenal is helping us in any way. Like, of course, you do get a transfer fee in for him, and depending on how much that is, that might be worth it for the club, just given the fact that we're still trying to, bring down the overall expenditure of this year, this last 6 months or whatever. But you're strengthening a rival right now, a team that we don't want to see win the title. So that, for me, is not the greatest. As far as Ziyech goes, I said it earlier on Lewis's stream. I think Ziyech provides a decent amount of versatility in Chelsea's wide areas. There's nobody in that wide area that can deliver the ball as well as Ziyech, And when you need something like that, just something different on the pitch, I think that he can give you something. Whereas the other guys are pretty much, either kick and run or, a little bit more dribblers or whatever. But Ziyech, I think, gives you diversity in what you can get from your wingers. But I mean, he doesn't want to be here, man. Like, that much has been obvious since the summer. He wants to find somewhere else to play. So if PSG is giving him the opportunity to go and, find his football there, then, there's not much we can do about that. We have a glut of wingers right now with Madueke coming in. You have obviously Mudryk, and we still have Sterling. We still have Pulisic. A lot of guys. So something has to give there. We also need the spots to register players that are coming in. He probably saw all the writing on the wall and was like, "Listen, man, I'm probably not even going to be registered for Champions League, so I might as well just find my way to PSG and find my way onto their bench if that may be the case." So, yeah, I think that he had a lot to offer, but in terms of what we're doing with the squad and just balancing the numbers, it makes sense for him to want to even go on loan just to get more football to up his price. As far as Gallagher goes, I think that he needs to go. Like, that's if the rumored price is correct, 40 million pound plus 5 add-ons, he's got to go. There's nothing that's holding me to him right now. That isn't a lot of money that for a guy that you haven't paid much for, other than maybe, just bringing him through the academy, which obviously has its own expenses as well. But in terms of what he offers on the pitch, you can get that in a lot of guys. a lot of guys, you know.
Alright.
And if we look at the midfield that we're putting together right now, it's looking like we're playing 4-2-3-1 for the most part. Where does he play? Where does he play? You can't play him as a number 10 when you got who we got, like who's the guy, the Portuguese cat brother coming in? Felix.
Felix, yeah.
Mason
Felix,
Mount
yeah.
is still going to want some minutes there. You know, you still have the option of playing Kai Havertz as the number 10. You're not going to see any minutes from Gallagher there. And in the 6, you're trying to play him in the 6? Come on. I've seen him in the 6, and it's nothing to see. You know, there's nothing to see there.
Right.
He's without doubt an 8, and we're not playing with a lot of 8s right now.
All right. I've heard everyone's opinion.
So, Couch,
on...
would you sell him or loan him? Gallagher.
I would sell him. I would sell him.
Hold on. I've heard everyone's opinion on the players. I've heard everyone's input in regards to the players that are mentioned in the news today. People in the chat, the link is there in the pinned comment. Everyone is welcome to come on and give me their thoughts and opinions live on stream. I'll give you a couple of minutes. You can come on, give me your thoughts and opinions. I just ask you to switch on your camera when you do come on, to avoid getting trolls on the stream. So when you do come on, if I don't know you, switch on your camera, and we're more than happy to hear your thoughts and opinions live on air. The next topic I want to discuss is this, and this, I'm not going to go around the block. I'm literally going to just give you the topic, and I'm going to have it as an open discussion between everyone here on the panel. The topic is this: Todd Bowley's strategy in this transfer window. We saw Todd Bowley in the last transfer window with Thomas Tuchel and what he did. This transfer window has never been. I've never seen a January transfer window like this. This is like a summer transfer window. In fact, I haven't seen summer transfer windows with so much activity in the past. How do you rate this transfer window? How do you rate Todd Bowley and his approach to transfers? Is he overspending? Is he throwing money away? Or is he doing it in a wise manner, financially and also in a footballing term, in a footballing sense? I'd like to know your opinions on this, guys, and take it away. Whoever wants to go first, take it away.
Since Couch came on this panel, he's been talking for hours now. Can I?
I got a lot to say.
Yeah. Listen. How do I rate our transfer windows? It's not even finished yet. Let me just put it this way: this transfer window with Enzo in with who else we think Declan Rice and Concedo. Let's just say we got all those. The only exciting player that make me be really confident, feel confident about this season and maybe the next season will be Declan Rice, having Declan Rice in the team, because then I have someone that have EPL experience that will allow Enzo to develop properly in the middle. Listen, going around buying young players, just bringing them in together and just thinking it's just going to gel based on what they've done in the previous team, and most of them come from outside based on what they've done outside. It's just not a recipe for success. I think it is a recipe for disaster, because at the end of the day, those players need time to even understand what the physicality of the EPL, and they need time to know each other, and they have to at least learn from some experienced player that play around them, or at least it has to be a mixed transfer. You cannot just tell me you're buying Enzo and expecting N'Golo Kante to be fit and play with Enzo, so Enzo can actually play the way he played in with Benfica, because all those times he's been given in Benfica to control the ball.
But the funny thing is,
time out for a second. I've got a few people in the green room, in the backstage. Guys, if you want to come on, I need to have your cameras on. So
how many spaces do we have?
We have plenty of spaces. We got two more spaces. I'll bring them on one at a time. But I need to see your camera on. So switch on your camera. I'll bring you on. No camera, not coming on. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, guys. Just switch on your camera. Go ahead.
Tell them the camera on is just for you to see them, and when they come on, they can switch it off, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, no issues there. Yeah.
And
Go
just
ahead,
so
continue.
just for interest sake, just keep in mind that Chelsea's midfield is probably the most experienced position we have right now with Jorginho, Conte, Kovacic right now. So you bring an Enzo in there, you're not lacking leadership there for sure. You're lacking what you are lacking is a bit of legs, maybe, and that's probably why we went after Enzo. So there's no leadership issue there. He's coming into a very, experienced title-winning midfield. So I'm not worried about that.
I'm gonna bring on Uthman for a second. Uthman, you can switch off your camera if you want. I'm gonna bring you on in a second, or you can keep it on. It's up to you. Give me a thumbs up if you're good to go, Uthman. Okay, you're good. All right, so I'm gonna bring on one of the subscribers. We're gonna hear his thoughts and opinions. I'm gonna give him 2 minutes. Uthman, welcome to the stream. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the topics that we have been discussing. Welcome to the Blue Lounge.
Okay, hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Wait. Firstly, where you
Please,
from? Where you talking to us from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Big up.
Welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Welcome, man. You have a
Welcome,
brother here.
everyone. I see you, brother. Please, my opinion here is about our system right now, Chelsea. We are playing good. We know everything come when we need. We know sometimes, like our progress right now. You see how we need a lot, but we brought a lot player right now. For my opinion, is about Havertz.
Okay.
We need to put him in his right position because playing Havertz in his role like number 9 is very difficult for him being playing that place.
Yeah, but what's his position then? Number 10?
Because right now a lot of eyes are yes, the way he played in Bayer Leverkusen.
He played like a shadow striker
Because
in
for
Leverkusen.
me,
Yeah?
what I'm yeah actually because in Chelsea they never give a lot of striker that chance to play the way they like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not convinced with Kai Havertz myself. I'm just gonna put that out there. I respect what he did for the Champions League, but he hasn't.
Yeah,
For me, the
we
number
also
10.
respect them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for me, the number 10
he will
position, that
give.
has to be that's your offensive thinker in the final third. That's a guy that you want to have on the ball to make decisions in tight spaces. He doesn't have the technical ability to do that, nor does he have the quickness of thought. Like, let's be real here. Like, every time he gets on the ball, he's tripping over it. He's knocking it out of bounds. He doesn't have the
Yeah,
vision to see when people are in better positions than him.
No,
These are the
no,
things I want in my number 10. A number 10 that can think in the final third. When the game speeds up, his thoughts have to slow down and execute in these tight spaces. He doesn't do that for me right now. Like we saw Yao Felix come into the game in 58 minutes and did
yeah,
more creating than we saw Havertz do in like the last 10 games. Like
All right,
yeah.
guys.
He never did that.
Osman, thank you for coming on. Thank you for your opinions. Look, in regards to Havertz, I think action needs to be done in respect to him. Havertz is a good player. However, like you said,
Yeah,
he isn't being
actually,
utilized in his position. I agree with you. I think Havertz is being used as a striker, and that is not his forte. He is more of a supporting attacker, a false 9, maybe a 10, definitely. Him being played in that position hasn't been too great for him, unfortunately. Either address that or maybe look at alternatives to Kai Havertz. Osman, thank you for coming on. Much love, much respect, and thank you for sharing your thoughts and opinions. Have a good day and take care of yourself, brother.
big up.
thank
Big
you.
up, Osman.
welcome, man.
I have one more guest who is looking to come on. Amanuk, you can switch off your camera if you want, or you can keep it on. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come on. Okay, I'm guessing he is going to come on with his camera. Amanuk, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Give me your thoughts and opinions. And firstly, where you talking to us from?
Yeah,
We can't hear you. Minuk, there's no audio on your side.
Your mic is not
Minuk,
working.
your mic is not working, brother.
Still no.
No, we still can't hear you.
Your mic. You need to turn your mic on, man. Okay.
Okay, Minuk, go out and come back in, and I'll give you another chance. Go out and come back in, my brother. All right, guys, the link is in the chat. If you want to jump on, click on it, and we're happy to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let's go back to Todd Bowley's strategy. I think Boogeyman was talking, or was it Couch?
Of course, Boogeyman was talking, and you guys caught me anyway. So now what? So I have to think about, because I've been slandered in the chat, like all Chelsea fans are doing to Havertz and Mount. What is this, man? Good. Listen, I'm not. My point is this: buying a lot of young players, talented players. This is football. When you don't build, test, and add, build, test, add, you just don't know where you're going. Arsenal done it. It takes them 4 years or 4.5 years to be where they are today. They have a group of players. They notice that, okay, we tried this, and Aubameyang is gone, Ozil is gone, this one is gone.
Is Boogeyman saying trust the process? Is that what Boogeyman is saying?
No, no, it's not. No, I'm not trusting Chelsea process right now. My point is this.
Are you trusting Arsenal's process?
Yeah, no. My point is this: we have a whole bunch of players, and we bought Sterling, we bought Cucurella, we bought player. In a few of them were injured. That was not really expected, but we didn't really test them to know exactly which position we need reinforcement or not. We just went around and bring young players, inexperienced players that we know for sure will need time in EPL to even improve our team. They need time to know what EPL is about. So you bring those players in with the intention of just letting all our old players go. So next season, what are our expectations? Next season, what? Are we expecting Modric to just be the best player next season? I don't think it's going to happen. Are we expect Julio Felix to be one of the top players or performer next season? I don't think it's going to happen, because EPL is about surprises. EPL has his own reality, and I just don't think putting those players together without having exactly a proper objective or test what we have and add to it, like Arsenal have done it to be at this stage, without doing any process. I don't think we know what we're doing. We just bring a player in, and then next season we'll notice that, okay, this one is not performing good. So what? We already paid £70 million on him. So what do we do?
Havertz.
21 years old. A 21 years old Enzo. If he's not performing, or we notice that EPL is not his thing. People
or Havertz, right? Or Havertz, right? Like how we bought Havertz, you mean? The same thing?
What's that?
Just like how we bought Havertz and it didn't work out, right?
No.
Okay. I hear what you're saying, Boogie.
Lampard has 1 year. I think Lampard has played a year and a half without transfer. And when we allowed to do the transfer, he feel like Havertz as a shadow striker will help someone like Tammy or whatever that thing is. So he went.
Lampard didn't buy Havertz. That was a club buy because they saw an opportunity. But regardless, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
It was bought under Lampard, or?
Yeah, but like it was a club buy. It was a club buy. The only person I think they bought for Lampard was Chilwell. I think everyone else.
Yeah, no. Listen, I don't go into those supposition or those. I mean, if it was bought under Lampard, for me, Lampard bought it. So it's simple as that. I don't.
Okay, but it's not manager anymore.
Don't give me any proof that it was
we don't have managers anymore. We have head coaches, right? And then we have a board that kind of buys the players for the team. But regardless, I still hear what you're saying. You're right. But where have we brought in? Yeah.
I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause it for a second because I have someone who is coming in for his opinion. I'm trying to. How do I pronounce that name? Okay, I'm gonna struggle, so I'm not gonna butcher it. I'm just gonna bring him in, and I'm gonna call him Anu. Anu, you can keep your camera on, or you can take it off. It's up to you. If you want to keep it on, give me a thumbs up. Anu, give me a thumbs up. Okay, you're good. All right, let's bring in Anu. Anu, welcome to the channel. Before you start, tell us where you're from and then take it away with your opinion. Welcome to the Blue Lounge.
Wow. Just joining in now. But from what I've heard him saying about the players they are bringing in,
I know. Where are you talking to us from? Where are you from right now? Where are you
I'm
right now?
calling, I'm calling from Nigeria.
Yes, King.
Welcome. Aye, listen, the Blue Lounge is all over Nigeria today. Big up to Nigeria. Big up to Nigeria.
I was gonna say it, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him say it because he's my neighbor. I'm a Ghanaian, so he's my neighbor. I could tell that's my Nigerian brother.
Okay,
Big up.
yeah.
Big
up
up
to you, bro.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Give me your opinion, brother. Give me your opinion.
Okay, yeah. Now I heard what he was talking about Arsenal, comparing them to Chelsea. And the fact is, this Chelsea are just through this kind of revolution. They are just trying to get all these players in. Then maybe some of those older players that will leave by the end of the season, they will learn little about the league, like Dotro Fofana, Chukwuemeka, all those young players. They will learn now from now till the end of the season. They will learn, and by the time maybe Kante, I don't know if he's going to extend his contract. If Kante has to leave, and Jorginho probably will leave, and Loftus-Cheek, there are other players who might leave. So when you are building a team, I believe, like just like Roman Abramovich when he bought Chelsea, I think he bought a lot of players. You understand? During his first Mourinho first tenure. So from what I understand is what Chelsea are trying to do. I know they are getting a lot of players. People are complaining maybe the players are much or so. But for me, let's just give it a try. Don't just conclude yet. I think the owners know what they are doing. For me, they know what they are doing. I know maybe they are not. They haven't been to. They haven't handled a football club before, but they know what sport is all about too. So if Graham Potter is involved in most of this transfer, I don't think we should have problem. Except they are doing it without his concepts, then we can have problem with that. So what I'm saying is, as long as if the coach agrees with the owners, with the players I'm bringing in, then they have confidence in him. Potter was given, I think, a 6 years or 5 years contract, and most of these players are given the same years. So they are not just in hurry; they want to build it with the coach. So I believe they are going to the right direction. That's what I want to say.
Beautifully said.
Anu, thank you very much. Fantastic.
Thanks, man.
I really like
appreciate
that.
it.
Thank you for coming on.
I hardly disagree, but thanks for coming in, man.
You hardly disagree. I listen. Boogeyman hardly disagrees with you. Anu, you are lucky. You are lucky. Anu, big up to you, and I hope you've subscribed to Blue Lounge. And thank you for taking your time.
That's a Amunike or the Anu.
Anu, it's not Munike.
Let the man tell us. How do you pronounce your name? How do you pronounce your
Sorry?
name? How do you pronounce your name?
Okay, Anunike Chibuzo.
Enunike Chibuzo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I have one more guest. Where did he go? I had one more guest in the back room. He left. All right. Listen. We move. Thank you for coming on, my brother. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank
Take
you.
care. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. There was somebody else in the back room. They left. If you can come back on, I'd love to have you back on and get your thoughts and opinions. All right. I interrupted Couch Critic, and for that I apologize. Let me hear it.
Where were we? I can't remember.
You were talking about
Contradicting my saying I'm wrong, right?
Well, obvious. I know it. I know it had something to do with you being wrong, but I can't remember exactly what the tone of it was. Okay. Yeah. No. If it was anything about like the players that we're assigning being too young, every team that is starting new again, and this is what Chelsea are doing under this new ownership, this new regime. You buy a bunch of players and you figure it out. Like that's what's going on right now. Like the benefit that we have right now.
Graham Potter, talk to me. All right, Todd Bowley, I get it.
Okay.
And
Why are you sidetracking me? I don't want to.
Wait, I'm coming to you. So we talked about Todd Bowley and him investing money and him having a business mind and trying to start a new regime and start a new system. Blah 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 blah. I agree. I understand. But is Graham Potter the man to lead that project?
I mean, time will tell, right? Like, there's no way to really know that at this point in time. We only know what we've seen with Roman, and Roman has only ever gotten the top level managers to come in, with the exception of like a couple, duds here and there, But for the most part, he's gotten proven winners. So this is uncharted territory for a lot of Chelsea supporters. But in terms of football, this is not uncharted territory. You know, like there's been a lot of big clubs that have taken on managers that have not won anything. And, you know, look at Bayern Munich, for example. Like a lot of their managers have not won a lot at all, you know, but they have a pedigree of understanding of how the football they want to play, you know. So all I'm saying is there's not one right way to win or to build a club, you know. Like obviously we know the try test and is true is let's bring in the best managers of all time and then hope that, you know, the players that we have at the time are, you know, fit within their philosophy, or else you're chasing each other. But ultimately I'm not evaluating Graham Potter until I see his best 11. I want to see him
until
manage
Chelsea get relegated, then we start evaluating.
Sure, if you guys have that,
if
if you guys have that in your scope, where you think that he can't manage it because he
I
hasn't won
wanna-
a title, that's fine.
Listen,
That's not me.
Boogie Couch. Look. We have to give Zion a chance to express himself. Okay, Zion is a nice guy. Zion is a nice guy. He doesn't like to insult people and jump in. So let's give Zion a chance. Go on,
I have
Burnley.
a problem with couch critics talking. And when he doesn't mind me talking. Or
I just keep quiet until they call me in. Unless
Zion
sometimes
is-
the comments really trigger me, then I'll say a little bit. But I don't like to interrupt.
There you
Is
go.
Graham Potter? Listen, we
Yeah.
talked about the project. The project seems to be good. It seems to be well thought out. You know, Todd Bowley is bringing in youngsters. Is bringing in you know, a good mixture of talents. He seems to be getting good players. I mean, I'm judging, you know, Mudryk on his 5 minutes that he came on. He looks like he's got you know, something about him. João Felix, we know what he's all about, and you know, others. Is Graham Potter the man to lead Chelsea into the Premier League title, a FA Cup, a Champions League? Do you think he has that about him? I really want to know your opinion on this. Is Graham Potter the right man? And if he is, how? Explain it to me. Convince me.
I got two questions. I got two answers. One, no, yes, and then the other one is yes. Did you Mo? Did you get my question? I mean my message that I sent to you in regards to the other one. Yeah, let me finish this one then.
Yeah.
The first one that I said about OG. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me go this way. I know where Boogie stands in regards to our team. Look, Graham Potter came to meet a team that's already deteriorating. It's torn apart. There's no sustainability. There's no togetherness. It's broken down. And I know the reason I'll say yes because Graham Potter I've worked with young players and it's really transferred them from where they were to become I wouldn't say world players, but good players. Where players that they bought them for 10 million are going for 60 million at this point in time because he's got them to play very well. He's got them to understand his football. So with giving time, Graham Potter can transform that kind of knowledge, that kind of a style, playing style that he has in Brighton into our new talents that have here. I'll say no in attempts because Graham Potter hasn't worked with big egos like Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, Jacques Felix, players with big name, big price tag that he's already met in the football team and is trying to. Players that even earn more than Graham Potter. They make more money than Graham Potter. That's what I'm trying to refer to. He hasn't worked with that kind of material. So in that aspect, I'll say Graham Potter can find will find himself short in that aspect. But then concerning the new players that were coming in, if Potter keep these players, we didn't know that how Hazard was going to play in the Premier League. I saw glimpses of Mohamed Madrid that he's going to be the next Hazard of Chelsea Football Club. And next season, it will be difficult to mark this guy out of games. That's what I'm seeing now. So if Potter can work with these players for the rest of the season and then begin the next season, and if he's able to control these egos, whilst we're seeing some of these players who are fading out, players like Thiago Silva don't have much more with Chelsea, hasn't much more time with Chelsea. Players like Koulibaly don't have much more time with Chelsea. Those egos will be fading out very soon. Aspilicueta don't have long to stay with Chelsea. You have to get. That's why you have players that plays in the right position in the left-footed centre back Badishia to come in. Very young, very strong, tall. We don't have a natural left-footed player, so I'm sure Graham Potter had his hand in the players that are coming in and the way he can work with them. That is why he's bringing them in. Yes, every team has to have a marquee signing. Every team has to have a marquee signing, and then we have to have one. Enzo Fernandez could be one of them. Mihalo Madrid could be one of them. Just put the footballing aside. The money has to come in because Todd Bowley, the money is not just going to the football club. And the reason why, I'll say this, a lot of people don't know, the reason why Chelsea are signing all these players, there is an agreement to be made by Roman Abramovich and Todd Bowley when the club was being sold, that Todd Bowley have to spend 1.9 billion on players. Nothing can be taken away in terms of dividends or all that stuff can be taken away for the club for 10 years. So the agreement that is being signed, Roman has to live up to those expectations. So we're going to see more players coming in because Todd Bowley have to meet those have to go by this whatever they sign on the paper. And I'll say,
right.
Yes, Potter can do it in the future, and he can do with these new guys coming in when the old faces fade off.
I hope you are right. Before I go to my brother from another mother, Eric
Nick
Blue,
Blue.
I'm gonna make him
Eric
wait for
Blue.
a little bit because I have two subscribers who want to come on. I've got Joe and I had Imaniki, but he left. All right, Imaniki, you're welcome to jump back on. I'm gonna bring you on Joe. Joe, are you good to go on with the camera? If you are, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, Joe's good. All right, we're gonna bring in
Mo,
Joe.
I'm gonna hop up real quick.
All right, Nee.
If you get my message,
Yeah,
I'll
I got
be
your
there
message.
anytime.
You're good, brother.
Anytime
You're
you get
good. Take
message,
care
just
and
shoot
thank
me.
you.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on, Nee. Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good
thanks,
one,
man.
Nee.
Thanks.
Take care,
All
brother.
right, you guys have a good
All
night.
right.
Yo, Nish,
All right.
take care, man. Welcome.
Peace.
Thank you,
And,
Nee.
Yeah,
Big
thank
up to you. Blue Clouds Media, guys. Go check it out. Blue Clouds Media. Go check it out. All right, we have Joe coming on. Joe, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Tell us where you're talking to us from and give me your thoughts and opinions, brother.
What's up, brothers? I'm calling from the U.S., West Coast. And, okay, so I just had a kind of an interesting kind of viewpoint because, as we know, Todd's also the owner of my team here, the Dodgers. And I'm just looking at how he's building the Chelsea team compared to how they came in and built the Dodgers. And when the Dodgers came in, they were like an average team. They'd gone to the playoffs a couple times in the last 15 years or so. But what they did was they came in, they bought a ton of players in the farm system, developed the farm system, bought a couple big name players to fill holes, and then integrated those players in. Now it's kind of they're building they're building an American style franchise. They're not building anymore where it's like where what Roman used to do was put out fires with just putting big name players here and there. They're going to invest from the bottom up and create a dynasty where you have like a core of 6 or 7 players that you have for 10 to 15 years.
There you go.
And then what you do is you plug holes around them with like one big signing every year to improve a certain area of the team and then invest in your youth program and develop upward. It's not going to be like this is a huge spree that they're going to put in, and then they're going to invest in youth, and then they're going to buy like one big signing every transfer window from then on. It's not, and it's going to be specifically for metrics, not for like a type of playing style. They're going to look at metrics. Everything is going to be metrics. Everything is going to be like, they're going to look at the heat zone maps of every player, every tendency compared to every type of team, compared to type of defensive styles, compared to type of defensive formations, compared to everything. In baseball, managers no longer manage. It's a computer upstairs that tells the manager who to pitch to, who to hit, it's no longer that a manager sits there and goes, okay, I'm going to change this and change that. And that's how American sports are. It's now a business. It's, you know what I'm saying? And it's not
going, man. You're bang on.
You know,
No,
it's
Joe,
not.
Joe, you're spot on in your analysis. You're spot on in your in the vision that Todd Bowley is bringing on. I can see it. We all can see it. But I want to ask you this, Joe. You're a Chelsea fan. I'm assuming you're a Chelsea fan, correct? Okay, so you're a Chelsea fan.
I've been Chelsea fan for about 20 years now. Yeah. Since before, a couple years before Roman bought him, when there was when it was Mancini and everyone, and then they were still building toward it. So
that's beautiful.
Right.
At least you a Chelsea fan before couch critics. That's good.
So the question I have for you, Joe, is: do you think the approach that Todd Bowley is bringing into Chelsea Football Club will work for Chelsea Football Club, number one, and as a football franchise, number two? Because football is different to baseball, to basketball, to American sports in general. I get the statistics, I get the numbers, the number crunching aspect of it. But do you think this approach will work for Chelsea Football Club from what you've seen, from what you know?
If you have the right players that you scout well, like even if you look back, and I'm a big football fan, but not like ancient in the 50s and 60s, But even if you look back at like the AC Milans, if you look back at the Real Madrids during the early 2000s, if you look at Man United during the 90s and 2000s, you had the same kind of thing. You had a core group of players, about 4 or 5 guys, and they built around them for a long period of time. And what that does is it also helps your amortization of your payment schedule, but it also helps sales for the team, because the longer you have players, the more your fan base becomes attached to those players. You build memories with those players. You sell more jerseys. I'm telling you, what Chelsea is going to do, because they own that. I've been to Dodger Stadium about 8 or 9 times this year. They have Chelsea all over Dodger Stadium. They're going to bring Chelsea to America. And I know it's, America's where all the money is, and they're going to bring all the money here. And they're going to bring, every year there's going to be an American tour, and they're going to bring them here, and they're going to sell. And what they're going to try to do is sell it like they do with the Lakers here, like the Yankees, where you build dynasties through groups of players that you become emotionally attached to. I mean, we had that with like Terry and Lampard and stuff, but from a long time after that, we haven't had that. You know what I mean? And the thing is that if you look at those dynasties, that the teams that really like established themselves, I mean, if to me, like United was the last one with Scholes and Ferdinand and all those guys. I mean, they were just like fixtures for the club, and they're legends. And I hope that like they do some stuff where I would actually like them to start retiring jersey numbers, and you know what I mean? And things like that, where you create a culture. It's you create a culture of winning. And you know what I mean? And like what they're doing is like, I mean, Todd Bowley's bringing in ideas, what U.S. teams, I mean, psychotically, you know how we are in America, we're psychotic with our sports. So it's like, what they brought the team to a military base. They do that in all the NFL teams. They do, like, you have these hell weeks in NFL where they don't eat, sleep, they don't see their families. They're up for 72 hours at a time, lifting, doing like crazy, pushing yourselves to the limit. And there's a saying that, an old saying that, it don't matter where you come from. It's what you experience together that creates family. It don't matter your blood. It's what you experience together. And that's how you create dynasties and teams that will die for each other. That you create, it's an experience and a culture. And that's what he's trying to bring in. And he's gonna, and watch, he's gonna expand Stamford Bridge, or all that's gonna go into it. He's going to do what they did with the Dodgers, where the Dodgers were starting as a $1.5 billion team, and they're worth about $6 billion now, after about 8-9 years. And it's been so it's a future, it's a process, but it's a process that I see them doing that no other team is really doing right now. That nobody in soccer or in football has really integrated. Now they're going to start doing it, because as you can see, the other teams are starting to get upset about it, and that's why they're changing those rules and stuff. So you're going to start seeing other teams. I mean, Liverpool kind of started doing it a little bit with building with those guys they had for a while. And Klopp, kind of a type of system and culture and stuff. But you're going to start seeing it really tough, really hard with Bowley, because they're going to, the board in that investment firm only wants success. I mean, they're worth $325 billion in assets, and you know what I mean? And they know what to look for and what how to build assets. So even if we do screw up on players here and there, they're going to invest tons of money. They don't care. Like money to them, especially right now, people have, I don't know if you guys have talked about it, but the value of the dollar to the pound and the euro is super high right now. So they're only really spending like about 60% of what they normally would be spending. So they're just like, spend it all right now, spend it all.
Joe, I love this. You're giving us a financial perspective, a social perspective, a cultural perspective. Brilliant. But I have to bring in my man Eric Blue. So,
oh yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, no, take it.
No, you're good. You're good, Joe. Thank you for coming on.
Peace,
love
brothers.
to have
Peace.
you back on. Love to have
Yes,
you back
sir.
on in the future. So make sure you subscribe and thank you for your time. Big up to
Peace,
you.
brothers.
Peace.
Good. Yeah.
Really, really good. Listen, I really, really liked getting his perspective because I mean, I've got Canadians, but I don't have Americans on the channel
Yeah.
who know
I was
about
impressed.
Todd Bowley. I know, great insight.
You need to come
This
more
guy,
often.
this guy knows ball. Listen, he knows Todd Bowley. He knows the way Todd Bowley is thinking and is behaving. So, Joe, thank you very much for your time and thank you very much for your insight. Eric Blue, where have you been, man? Where have you been? Seriously, Eric, where have you been?
Growing hair. Yeah.
Growing hair, yeah, like me.
Yeah. I could ask you the same thing, but to be fair, I've missed a lot. I missed the last stream, and then I'm a little bit late for this one. But honestly, I'm so happy to see you. You look great. Honestly, you're looking good. I've seen Bookieman. It's not. I saw Bookieman before, so I don't need to.
just say I look great. Just say I look great and move on.
Okay, you look great. You look great.
I have to force that one out of your mouth, yeah.
No. I'm very happy to be on one of these streams again. I missed Couch. He's gone now. Big up to Couch. It's been a long time. Very long time.
Couch put a message. He's got to go deal with his kids. So Couch,
Yeah.
thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure to have you back on the channel, and Nizayon as well. Eric, we've discussed the big stories, and I want to hear your perspective on this. Enzo Fernandez. I'm going to leave Enzo Fernandez to the end. I want you to start off with Jorginho, Gallagher, Ziyech, and then finish off with Enzo Fernandez. So 3 players out, 1 potentially in. Caicedo, I'm going to address him in a different stream, different video, potentially tomorrow, because I have a feeling we might be streaming again tomorrow for the transfer deadline day stream. But I want you to tell me about Gallagher on the way out, Ziyech, Paris Saint-Germain, Jorginho, Arsenal, Gallagher, Everton potentially, and Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I'm sure you guys have gone through all the details, and I need to watch it back, and I will definitely get to that. But based on what I've heard, based on what I've been listening to, Newcastle seem very interested in Gallagher. He's a good player. I don't know if he's good enough to really push to start games. I think he's been starting games because we've had a lot of injuries. We have a lot of difficulty with our team. But hopefully he gets the best deal for himself. If it was my personal thing, if it was a selfish decision from me, I would have preferred Crystal Palace to sign him because we've already seen how good he was and what he could do. That would have been the better fit. But Newcastle is not a bad option either. Newcastle are a top 4 team right now, so it's almost like he's not making so much of a step down from Chelsea. Obviously, the club isn't the same size, but when you move from a big club to a top 4 team, it's not like it's a bad thing for him. Even though I'm sure his dream is to play for Chelsea, but we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully.
I'm hearing he doesn't want to leave. And
I'm not surprised. I'm sure Loftus-Cheek doesn't want to leave either, but we'll have to see how things go with that because he might not be involved a lot with the team we were trying to build right now. There's a lot of competition that will happen, a lot of quality, and I'm not sure Gallagher will be able to get a lot of games. Just being, harsh and brutally honest. Well, we'll see with that. Ziyech, I think Ziyech, I thought he was going to Roma. But now the whole thing with Mourinho
Today's Paris Saint
himself
Germain's
not
day. Yeah.
exactly. So now it's probably it was Roma yesterday. Now it's Paris Saint Germain. So we know they can spend the money. We know they're able to. It's not going to be a problem for them at all, and that's a big deal from what I've heard for Ziyech. He wants the assurance that his wages will be paid, which makes complete sense. If I was in his position, I would want the same thing. Like, you don't sign a contract and then settle for less than what you agreed to. So hopefully he just gets the best thing for. I think the best thing for him is just to move on and have some kind of stability. I feel like he's been disrespected a lot at Chelsea. Chelsea fans didn't really give him as much of a chance as they should have, especially when you consider some of the other players that were given chance after chance. So hopefully he just gets some kind of run going. He needs to just start playing games and being involved. Injuries haven't helped at Chelsea either, but I think the best thing for him is just to get just move forward. Find a new challenge and get game time. Jorginho. I'm not Jorginho's biggest fan. I already had a few bouts with this guy up. Where are my points in this? Yeah, this guy up there. I had some. We had some struggles. Let's say we had. We battled it out concerning this player. I don't dislike him. I've actually always liked Jorginho, but I'm not going to let the fact that I like him, cloud my judgment. In my opinion, he's just not what we need. And just because I like him doesn't mean I can't admit that he's probably not what we need. Just because I think he's a good, he's better than people say he is. He's not as bad as people say. Yes, we know he has limitations, but look at what he's good at. I prefer to look at his strengths and how he helps the team. But at the same time, it is a big concern that he's just not in the right setup, to get the best out of him. I don't think we planned to get Jorginho in the right team. The team wasn't when he came, especially the first season under Sarri, the team wasn't set up to suit Jorginho. It just wasn't. So I feel like part of that is the reason why he gets so much stick from the fans. For me, I think he wants to leave. Boogeyman didn't like when I mentioned it, but I think it's true. He wants to go. Just let him go. If it's definitely shouldn't be Arsenal. I can't pretend like that is a good idea. He should not be allowed to go to Arsenal. That would be a big mistake. After spending so long at Chelsea, imagine him being a Premier League winner with Arsenal. That would look very bad. So hopefully not Arsenal, but I think he will leave. I think his contract is less than a year now. So we just have to be ready for him to move on, because I think he's going to move on. I think this is his last season, even if he stays for the rest of the season. Do I move on to the next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Enzo. I haven't watched him. I'm not going to pretend like I watched this guy week in, week out, like some people who watched him from his days at River Plate. But for me, he's a special talent. And yes, it's a recency bias thing. We saw what he did at the World Cup. We understand that a lot of that hype is from the World Cup, but it's not like he wasn't playing games before then. And people who have been watching this guy for a long time say he was good before the World Cup. And he's been an interesting player. So for me, he has all the qualities that we need. He's good defensively. He can tackle. He can pass the ball. He has vision. He has the eye for a pass. He's creative in that way. And we know that he's going to fight. He's not going to back down. He has the physicality, in my opinion. He has the speed.
I'm gonna get you into a bit of trouble with Boogeyman. So, Boogeyman believes that we need to bring in experience. We need to bring in someone who's taller. All right, Enzo Fernandez, good player, but does he fit the midfield position that Chelsea are looking at? I want Boogeyman and Eric to get into a fight on this. So Boogeyman, you heard what Eric said. What do you think? Do you actually think that Eric is right in his assessment of Enzo Fernandez? He listed his talents. He listed his attributes. I know I cut him short, but you can see where he was going. So Boogeyman, Enzo Fernandez, £105 million, potentially even more, because of the loophole that they're trying to do in regards to the taxes and the buyout clause. Are we doing the right thing here?
Uh, no. He is a good player, but I just don't think um, for Enzo Fernandez' own football career at 21 years old, and he has not proven anywhere else. Like you can tackle in Portuguese league. Yeah, it's completely different EPL. Like I was talking about this Manchester United, no, Manchester City, Chelsea, where Zakaria was one of the best performers. Yeah, Zakaria, that day he has eye for passes, training, even beating the pressure from Gundogan and Bernardo Silva. And so when you compare Zakaria with Bernardo Silva and Gundogan, it's it's not that Zakaria is more technical than Gundogan. No, it's not that Zakaria is more technical than Bernardo Silva. No, the only reason why Chelsea had a chance to that midfield is Zakaria physical ability. Like Gundogan was running close to Zakaria. Bernardo Silva was like they were running parallel, but Zakaria managed to control that ball, keep it, turn like 180-degree, and just lose them.
Yaya Toure vibes, yeah? Yaya Toure vibes.
Yeah. So my point is this: I understand the kid is good. I'm not going to question that. But when in the EPL, where those they don't give you time. You have to run in parallel, shoulder to shoulder with someone. Then your pass, you can have eye for pass in Portuguese league. You will need time in EPL. Like if you're that talented, you will manage to do it, but it's not gonna be next season. It's going to take 2 or 3 seasons. But maybe those physical attribute that he required to develop properly coming to EPL, he may end up spending too much time trying to work the physical ability, losing his technical ability. That's what happened. Like I keep saying, Kai Havertz, for example, he came in, we saw something under Lampard. We were like, yeah, this kid is good. His control were perfect. Like this is Ozil. But the only thing this kid needs to work on is physicality. Guess what? He start working on physicality. He can run, he can do this, he can do it, but then his technical ability, we don't know where they're going. He's not increasing that part of his game. So my worry is Andrew Fernandez is good. He's 21 years old, but he has not developed enough to come to Chelsea midfield and then impose himself or being that mind of our game or that brain of our game. He's too young. He has not proven yet, and this is a physical league. So do I wish that it works? Yeah, I wish, but I'm not. Right now, I'm 70% it's not gonna work. Because like
All right, all right.
what I just told you.
Eric Blue. So Enzo Fernandez, potentially the new Timo Werner, Kai Havertz scenario. Bare hype, bare good performances in their league, in their club. They come to Chelsea and we've seen what we've seen. Is that a possibility? Is this where we're going?
I'll start off with this. I think every signing is a risk. You can't ignore it. Every single signing is not a guarantee. It's not 100% guaranteed. But for me, I have a lot of hope in our recruitment team. Vivel, the guy on my AV, Win Stanley. There's just two. There's a few others. I don't remember their names, but there's a few others, and more are coming. I think one is coming in February. So I do have faith in what we're doing with the recruitment. I don't know how many games Boogeyman has watched of Enzo, but I'm talking based on people who have actually watched this guy. So what they say is that he is physical. I'm sure you saw it in the World Cup as well. He's a physical player. Look at that France team. France have a lot of physical players. He didn't have any problems. He has the speed. He's not going to get done for pace. He's not going to get exposed like a Jorginho, who he just is what it is. Some players are born with the physical attributes. Some players aren't. He just it's not Jorginho's fault. But for me, I think it's the other way around. I think this is like a 70-80% chance of a successful signing. I really do. He just offers something different, and he's not a DM, by the way. If you want to compare him with Zakaria, look what Zakaria was doing before he came to Chelsea.
Guys, like the stream.
That,
like the
that's not
stream.
nice, man.
No. It's not nice. It's not nice. But I'm saying this. Like the stream. Like the stream. All right.
Please give Boogie some palm
We
wine.
we have been streaming for 2 hours and 8 minutes, and I was supposed to be doing it for 1 hour, but Eric Blue came in the last minute, and I had to give him time. Boogeyman.
Thank you. By
Eric,
the way, Boogie, there's some good palm wine in Nigeria. There's some.
I'm gonna say this. And guys, I got work in the morning, and I'm sure a lot of you have. So I want to say this. I want to say a big thank you to Eric Blue for making time to come on. A big thank you to Boogeyman for being here from the very, very first moment I went live. Also want to thank Nizayon for jumping on. Big up to Nizayon, Couch Critic, and all the people from the chat who clicked on that link and came on. I know a couple of you tried to come on, but you were having technical issues and you weren't able to come on. But thank you for trying to come on, and I promise you I will be doing more streams. Again, not a schedule like we had in the past, but I am going to be doing more streams. I probably will go live again tomorrow night because it's the transfer deadline day. If I have time, I will go live again tomorrow. But yeah, thanks to everyone for being here, and thank you all for your support. We've had a ton of people subscribe today, and I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed and everyone who's hit that like button. We didn't. Did we?
The last comment is funny as well.
I'll check it out in a second. 149 likes. Thank you. If you guys can smash the like button and get it to 200 before the end of the stream, that'd be fantastic. There's still over 160 of you in here, so if every one of you who hasn't liked it will hit the like button, it would mean a ton. Boogeyman, what club are you supporting? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one. Yo, listen, man. I'm supporting a team that when we don't make top four, a head has to fall. And Potter.
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter. If we don't make it top four,
yeah,
a tradition at Chelsea is someone head has to fall.
We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss Graham Potter and the league and where we are and where we're going to be in a stream in the future. I want to focus today and potentially tomorrow on the transfer window, but we are going to discuss this. And I'll tell you guys, some of the conversations that I've been having with some of you guys in the DMs and on WhatsApp, it's a very intense topic, and it deserves its own stream. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing that very, very soon. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, guys, make sure you hit me up with a follow on Twitter. I will put in my Twitter handle in the chat. Oops. Let's go back. Where is it? Here we go. I'm going to put my Twitter handle in the chat. So if you want to follow me, please click on this and go ahead and give me a follow, because we will be discussing this on Twitter as well as on stream. I need to find my outro, the classic. Here we go. I found it. Guys, thank you all. Have a good night, and I will see you possibly tomorrow. Take care and peace.